There is a version of you, your higher self, okay? The version of you that has the car that you want, your dream body, your dream career, your dream everything, and is your version of you just in the most ideal way, and she already exists. All you have to do is start thinking like her and acting like her to become her. It sounds so easy, right? But you're probably not finding it that easy. You already know exactly how she acts and what she does. You know that your higher self does not doom scroll before bed or right when she wakes up. You know that she, drinks all the water that she needs to drink in a day and goes to the gym, wakes up early, reads her self-development books and doesn't just leave them collecting dust. She has them highlighted and filled with notes. You know everything you're supposed to be doing to become her. So what is stopping you, or what should I say, what is blocking you from being able to achieve your higher self? Probably think is that you're lazy. You're not lazy, okay? You've probably attempted many times to do the things that your higher self does. You've probably tried waking up early, staying consistent in the gym. You probably have tried eating the healthy foods. You've probably watched all of the right videos. Not that you're lazy. You're just unaligned with your higher self, okay? You're not in alignment with the person that you want to be, that you put up here and you're here, okay? This is you and this is your higher self. This is what we want to happen. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do so that you can be in alignment with your higher self. We all have habits and patterns that we've had that have been cooking up since we were children, okay, since we were babies. All of these things are being put in our subconscious mind, and it has created the person that we identify as today. These habits have formed from the subconscious mind as a form of like survival, not just from survival, but from fear. But your higher self does not operate out of a place of survival or fear. She operates out of intention, okay? She operates out of pure intention. First thing that I need you to grasp your head around is there's identity and then there's action. And you are most likely trying to take so much action before you've even shifted your identity. So what I mean by that is like, it's not like you're trying to force this new routine. You're trying, and what you should be doing is choosing a new identity first. So when you say things to yourself like, oh, I'm just not consistent, or I'm just so lazy, I always fall off, or you know that when you're about to even try to start taking the steps towards your higher self, that you just have all these negative and limiting beliefs that is not you, that you are actually really a lazy person. As long as you keep confirming that and affirming that to yourself, that is what your reality is going to be. So you need to shift your identity. This is why I'm always stressing the importance of affirmations and how affirming things goes into your subconscious mind and changes your beliefs. So you have to change your identity first, okay? You have to do this before you take any action, because you will fail at the action if you identify as a lazy person, but you're trying to be this fitness person. A lazy person and a fitness person are not on the same level. You have to identify first as a fitness person to start thinking about what a fitness person would do and acting like a fitness person would. What you probably do is try to jump into action way before you've changed your identity. So you've realized that your higher self is this fitness girl who wakes up early and meditates and journals and does all the self-care things, and then you try to do it but you fail, and you keep just going in circles, failing and not achieving your higher self because you were taking action too early. So an example of this that I'm going to give you is, imagine I woke up this morning and had this burning desire in my heart that I am a surgeon. And I decided to go to the hospital, right? And I just quickly stop by a store and buy scrubs. I go to this hospital, I go into like the surgical center, and I'm like, get me into the room. I'm a surgeon now. I'm ready to perform a surgery. I'm a surgeon. They're gonna escort me out like, no, you're not. You have not done any of the things that a surgeon needs to do to become a surgeon. That's not how that works. And yeah, I would probably be put in a mental health institution for thinking that I could just become a surgeon just because I woke up one day and decided that that's what I was gonna be. That's literally going from A to Z. Your higher self would never do that. And you have to start thinking and acting like her in order to be her. So if your higher self is already, imagine you already became your higher self and she is this businesswoman who has businesses and she makes all this money and stuff. Imagine if she got an idea for a new business and she just bought the property on that same second she had the idea because she has the money and the resources to do it, and she fills it with employees and she just starts running the business. Your higher self would never do that. Your higher self would most likely consult somebody that she knows in a similar business and ask them if it's a good venture to get into before she starts investing and doing all of this stuff and actually get into it. So just like your higher self that already exists wouldn't even do something like that, you shouldn't either. What would your higher self do? You need to ask yourself that more and more and more every single day. What would my higher self do? And start making actions that are more similar to how she would think, not just be how she is already. You need to start identifying how she identifies. I am successful. I am consistent. Consistency doesn't mean that I already went to the gym for an hour at 6 a.m. Okay, if your number one goal right now is to have a physical transformation, you would start trying to go at least a couple times a week. You would try to go for 30 minutes. You would move the needle closer and closer and closer to your goal. You wouldn't go from A to Z, you would go from A to be. Same thing if you wished to wake up earlier and be a 5 a.m. girly. You wouldn't just probably, if you're struggling with it so bad and every time your alarm clock rings at 5 a.m. you shut it off and really wake up 3 hours later, you would probably try to go and start waking up at 7:30, then 7, then 6:30, then 6, then 5 a.m. That is how you're going to see the actual real change and get closer to your higher self. Next, you need to bridge the gap between you and her. Okay, this is you, this is her. Every decision that you make is going to be a vote as what would my higher self be doing? Okay, your higher self is the fit girl, but she didn't just wake up and become the fit girl or whatever it is, the fit girl, the consistent girl, the social media, whatever it is that you want to be, whatever it is that you envision your higher self to be. She didn't just wake up and become that way. She made small decisions to take more and more steps to become that way. So we're not reaching for perfection here. You cannot beat yourself up every time you don't do something exactly as your higher self would do it. Just like you wouldn't, like if you desire to be really strong and you feel like your higher self is this girl that's really strong and can curl a 50-pound dumbbell, you wouldn't just go into the gym and be like, that's who I am now, that's my higher self, and curl that 50-pound dumbbell. You would be like, your higher self would be the type of person who's like, I'm gonna consistently show up to this place every day, lift this dumbbell at first 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50, okay? So you have to vote every single day when your alarm clock rings. What would my higher self do? Would she immediately read all of her messages, notifications, go on social media? Or would she wake up first, brush her teeth, meditate, journal, do other things first? Vote. You have to kind of start bridging the gap between who you are and who you're trying to be so that you can become one, just the higher version, not the version of yourself that you currently are unhappy with. But your higher self journals every morning for 30 minutes. You would have to try journaling for probably 2 minutes. And showing up for 2 minutes of journaling every day is gonna be way easier and gonna be way more consistent. And you're probably gonna end up journaling for more than 2 minutes as the days go on in the long run. The whole point is you don't wanna be your higher self right away. You are becoming her by using this voting system and by taking the tiny little steps every single day. That is gonna make you much more of a significant change, and you're going to feel like your higher self a lot faster if you were to just go slower in the steps instead of trying to take action and be her right away. Becoming your higher self is not all about having it all figured out right now. You have to make space in your life and shut away the old versions of yourself first. In the next episode in this series that I'm creating, I guess, that is becoming your higher self, I'm going to dive into every single thing you need to do to become and unlock your higher self. I know if you've already clicked on this video and you've already made it this far, then you already have the desire to be your higher self and you know it's something that you can achieve. In the next episode, I want to talk about these subconscious blocks that we have in our mind that really keep us in the same cycle of doing the same things over and over again, because I know it's probably not what you think it is. It's not that you're lazy or that you're self-sabotaging. Your subconscious is literally just trying to protect you, even though it doesn't really know that it's making you hate your life. If you would like to be part of this tiny cosm community and you want to unlock your higher self, I highly suggest you subscribe to this channel so you get notified of the next episode I have in the subconscious blocks and how to clear them to move forward and being your higher self. Hit the notification bell, and thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited for your journey. Bye.